Alrighty. Light. Oh no, I was thinking, what's wrong with the lighting? The lighting's not on back there. There. Got my lighting on. There we go. Spinning circle. Who's got a spinning circle, Safa? Not me, as far as I can tell. And hello, Megaleech as well. And I am going to do the usual thing where I start. While I wait for folk to roll in, I am going to make a video. So I'll put chicken in charge while I do that. It's just going to take me a little while to set up. Does chicken look more or less I'm going to put chicken off to the side anyway. Chicken in charge. Safa, cider does tend to be quite easy to drink. It's dangerous that way. I mean, of course, there are ciders and ciders. You go to some parts of England, they have what they call scrumpy, which is fairly rough, higher alcohol. And that can be a different experience. Right. I'm only doing the one video, but it's going to be a bit longer. Not hugely longer, but a bit. I am making 2 cocktails. So I don't give people a chance to show up to the stream while I'm messing around. Toby, you like the chook? Chicken in charge? Alrighty. Getting the technology set up. So I'm going to do a talky bit, and then I'm going to make the video. Sorry, then I'm going to make the cocktails. Then I'm going to do another talky bit. Because that's how it goes. And I'm a bit self-conscious. I washed my hair today, so it's all floofy and all over the place. So I'll probably brush my hair between takes. All right, so I'll turn this on. There we go. All right, now, I thought I was watching this in editing. I must have bumped this. It's crooked. It's extremely crooked. It's waiting for someone to say something about it when they see it in the video. Your picture's crooked. Oh, I should get the bits out for this. I need an orange liqueur, which I'm just about out of. But, what do I have as a backup? Backup, if that runs out. I'm not going to do blue curacao. What's that one? Tangelo. Honestly, I might do that. Okay. This is the backup if I need it. That's the backup if I need it. Okay. Going to do Reposado tequila for these two. Right. Lime juice, pineapple juice. my tiki bitters out, maybe. Ah! Ooh. Get the gas out of the way. And there's the tiki bitters. Okay. Now. Hey, Greg. How you doing, by the way? Let me see. Double check. Tequila, pineapple juice, lime juice, bitters. Tequila, vermouth, curacao. Yep, pretty gosh darn straightforward. Okay. So, let's switch the audio recorder on. Let's check what's happening with our video camera. Now, what do we do with a bit wider? That's too wide. Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, you know what? Maybe looking at the framing. You know what? I might end up regretting that, but who cares? Okay. G'day, cocktail lovers. If you spend a bit of time in cocktail world, you'll find out there are some mysteries, there are some confusing things, there are some contradictory things, and you've got to navigate them. I mean, it comes down to the most fundamental. Nobody knows for sure why we call cocktails cocktails. There are a few competing theories, and the most popular one tends to go up and down in public opinion over the years, but we do not definitively know why cocktails are called cocktails. Seems dumb. Seems really dumb. But a common and confusing thing you'll see is when you look up particular cocktail names, you will find completely different cocktails by exactly the same name. Sometimes they are developments of a particular cocktail over time. The martini, for instance, and the El Presidente spring to mind. But other times, it's just people have just arbitrarily said, I'm calling a cocktail this. They either don't know or don't care that someone else has published a cocktail with exactly the same name before, and hell, I guess, this is our world. All of this to bring around, yes, I'm making two completely different cocktails that have the same name. I stumbled across them and I thought, yeah, this is a thing that happens. I want to talk about this. Not that I get really worked up about it, but it is a thing that cocktails that are completely different with the same name. The two cocktails I'm going to make are both called the Tequila Matador, and they both start with 1 ounce or 30 mils of tequila. And that's about all they have in common. They're walking along hand in hand. Hello, I'm a tequila matador. Hello, I'm also a tequila matador. What's your first spirit? Oh, tequila. Oh, mine too. And then they just diverge radically. They were published about half a century apart. The first one in the Cafe... God damn it, I just stumbled over words there. I hate that. It's an editing challenge. That's what I call it. They were published about half a century apart. The first one in They were published in books about half a century apart. The first one in the Café Royal book in the 1930s, and then later in the... Oh, Jesus, cunting fuck. They were published about half a century apart. The first one in Café Royal's book in the 1930s, and then much later on. Jesus, this is not a difficult sentence. Why am I having difficulty with it? They were published about half a century apart. The first one in the Café Royal book in the 1930s, then much later, Trader Vic's. And we have them both, so I'm going to try them both. It's really weird. Like the Café Royal one is kind of the Mexican cousin of a dry martini, whereas the Trader Vic one, predictably, very tropical. Café Royal stirred, Trader Vic shaken. They are both served up in a coupe, so they've got that in common, I guess. But we'll now have a look at exactly how difficult they are. And I'm going to start with the 1930s. Cars are going past as well, so fuck my life. We'll see just how different they are now, and I'll start by making the 1930s Café Royal oh, fucking fuck. We'll see exactly how different they are now. First up, I'll make the 1930s. We'll see just how different they are now. I'll start by making the 1930s Café Royal Tequila Matador. Jesus, now I'm just going to make them. Give me some fucking breathing space. Do you like seeing the sausage made, by the way, and seeing how much I swear when I mess things up? Gosh darn it. Okay. So, Shazam, y'all. All right, and we are going to do... Oh, yeah. Okay, that's all tangled up, isn't it? Ugh, that's a whole gosh darn thing. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Oh. Fucking cords all twist. I'm off camera. Lucky Chicken's in charge. Right. Fucking Elmon. 24 hours a day. Now let's get this lined up. All to hear them scream and holler when they hear him say Shazam, y'all. Alright. Let's set up. Where's my phone with recite on it? Okay, tequila, vermouth, and orange. And that's about that. I'm really guessing I'm just going to be farting the whole time, I think, while I'm recording video. Okay. Yeah, okay, equal parts. Captain Marvel Jones, he's a southern Superman. Fish in a bottle. Oh, yep, there was less of that than I thought. Okay. I need to get more orange liqueur. Improvise. What's that? Survival guide. Adapt, improvise, overcome. And that's that. Oh, this is... Well, screw you too. 25 hours a day. Wait, did I not bring the lid for this in? Am I that stupid? God damn it. I have to go out in a minute. Ugh. Oh, you know what? I haven't used these glasses in a while. I'm going to use these glasses. Ah, cut crystal cubes. Oh, my hair goes everywhere. Can't do a thing with it. All right, that's still okay. Get that happening. Stir this. Oh man, that's okay. I'm freaking liking that actually. Make sure that's lined up nicely. There we go. And yeah, that's not bad wash line. Ooh, turn that off. Fuck! Oh, that was almost a disaster. Okay. Okay. Oof. You almost got to see a real disaster on the stream. Me getting real angry about it too. Okay. Take a 2. Okay. What's this? Oh, I should turn the camera back on if I'm going to do this. Two ounces of pineapple juice. Honestly, a bit of a girly drink, this one. Wait, should I have shaken that up? I think maybe I should have shaken that up. Let's see. Is it just a really clear pineapple juice? CNC. I definitely should have shaken it up. No one tell me I'm not a professional. I know my shit. Half an ounce of lime juice. And a dash of tiki bitters. And Dunzo. Okay. And now. And now we shake it. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. Okay. Put that there. That looks right. Shake it. Foamy because of the pineapple. Okay. 2 drinkies. Okie dokie. That one's done. Now I just got to talk my bullshit. An alchemist. Well, making cocktails is a little bit of alchemy, quite honestly. I quite enjoy doing it. Wait, where'd I put my phone? Gonna take a picture to promote it. All right. Now, I just got to do the talky bit, a couple of minutes. And Bob's your auntie's live-in lover. All right. Record. Switch this on. And yeah, don't do that to me, bitch. And the ice settling. Do this. Oh, because I think my hair's too floofy, I'm going to brush it again. Bloody long hair, what are you going to do? In our mixing glass, we put, this is an equal parts cocktail, so in our mixing glass, we start with 1 ounce, 60 mils of, oh God. This is an equal parts cocktail. We're starting with 1 ounce or 30 mils of tequila in our mixing glass. Then we're adding 1 ounce or 30 mils of dry vermouth. And finally, 1 ounce or 30 mils of an orange liqueur. We add ice to the drink. We add ice to the glass. Stir it for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain that into a chilled coupe. For Trader Vic's, we start again with 1 ounce, 30 mils of tequila. Then we add 2 ounces of pineapple juice, 60 mils of pineapple juice, half an ounce, 15 mils of lime juice, and I'm going to round things out with 1 dash of tiki bitters. Add ice to the glass, and we're going to shake that good and hard for about 10 to 15 seconds to chill and dilute. And then we're also straining that into another chilled coupe. Super obvious and predictable differences in the appearance of these two. I did use Reposado tequila in both, and I used my barrel-aged dry vermouth for the original 1930s Matador. I think I'll taste that first because I think it's going to be a more subtle flavor. Let's give it a go. That comes together quite well. It's obviously much sweeter than an average martini. And the tequila is holding its own and coming through. That is a really nice combination. Now, for our decidedly more tropical and fruity Trader Vic Tequila Matador, that really just tastes like pineapple juice, which is kind of predictable. But also I guess it's comparatively low alcohol, just the 1 ounce of tequila. This could be a good session one. I was also thinking flavor profile wise, the way people traditionally talk about winter and summer flavors, they're like each other's opposite. The Cafe Royal one is very much the winter flavors, and Trader Vic, again, predictably for Trader Vic, summer flavors. I definitely favor the original. It's actually a bit more subtle and it's got more to it, whereas this Trader Vic one just tastes like pineapple juice to me. You could probably have a bit of fun with this, turn it into a highball, add soda or whatever bubbles you like, maybe even a bit more tequila. Hey, maybe throw in some mezcal to give it a bit more kick as well. There's a bit of room to play with, but it's completely lacking in subtlety for mine, and I'll stick with a far more traditional one, I think, but there's a bit of a choice for you. They're incredibly different drinks, even though they're both called a Tequila Matador. I'd love to know if you tried them, which one you like. My mouth got full of spit then. I hate the way my mouth does that. But until oh God. Hope to see you again soon, but until next time, look who's double fisting again. So I better go and just say cheers. Double fisting cocktails. And now I'm going to sit down. Oof. Okay. Goodbye. See you. Don't know why my audio recorder has to say goodbye to me. Definitely don't understand why it has to say goodbye twice. The little screen says goodbye, see you. Okay, chicken in charge. You're probably done for the night. Definitely not making any more videos tonight because I'm ahead. I've got things uploaded all the way through to Friday. Toby, the long hair, yeah, I'm into it. It's just after I wash it, it's a whole thing. You know what? I'm going to put some orange peel in here because I freaking can. Actually, in both of them, I think. You go in there. A little bit of orange. Oh God, I need to make a cocktail that's got orange juice in it. I've got an absurd amount of clarified cocktails here. Pity you're not my neighbor. I might share one. Yep. Oof. Toby, look, I mean, stay tuned, man. Not a channel, but I do have somewhat. Oh, I better switch the banner off because Chicken's not in charge anymore. I have a somewhat solid plan of making a long video, like an hour or so, that I'm going to call music to drink whiskey to. And it's going to just be really sort of mellow music, maybe jazzy, bluesy stuff, maybe a mix of stuff, copyright-free stuff, obviously. And it's just going to be slow images of ice being stirred, ice clinking in a glass, pouring from a full bottle, so you get the glug, 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 glug. I think if I'm clever with the editing, I could do that in a loop. That might trip people out. I'll start it in slow motion, but then like people realize it's gone on for far too long. If I can get a loop happening. Paris Human, no, this is not live. This is pre-recorded, and I just actually have powers of time travel, and I sometimes go back when a day later, when I see the comments, I transpose through a transdimensional warp engine a response. So, but I hope you'll stick around even if it's not live, because I can still use my time powers to do it. And Toby, I thought you'd like that. Yeah, so it'd be a combination. It's a mellow chill out video that would have some quiet music and just loops of ice being stirred and that's the thing. Have I received any mail recently? Just the evangelical stuff you signed me up for. Hey, Nook, how are you going? Paris Human. Oh God, which title was it? The title, the Feast of Hatebrand. Did you want to know what the Feast of Hatebrand meant? I'm guessing that's what you mean. Okay, so I do a lot of live streams. Like 3, 4, 5 a week, depending on the week. And I often look at what happened on this day. Is there some theme? Is this a day dedicated to something? And Wikipedia, besides having just a huge amount of potential things to choose from, there was a lot of good birthdays today. I was going to say happy birthday to a bunch of people. But the religious feasts of that, like Christians have what they call feast days of saints and whatnot. And today, among others, is the Feast of Hatebrand. I have no idea how they pronounce it, but Hatebrand was actually a Benedictine monk, I think. But I just thought that sounded hilarious. I mean, does that not sound like a heavy metal band name? Feast of Hatebrand? I just loved it. I just thought it sounded so funny. I went, oh, happy almost birthday, Lee. And yes, Toby, I have noticed they want my money. I just love that you're costing them money. So many of these things come, and occasionally quite big, heavy ones that must cost them a fortune. So it's fun that we're wasting their money. I was going to say, do I have some here? I probably there's some waiting for me. I'll be in the city tomorrow. Safa, where did I get what picture? Paris Human, I live to serve. Also, sorry, for your edification, I'm using a system called StreamYard to restream simultaneously YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Most people watch me on YouTube. Some people watch me on Twitch, and a smaller number watch me on Facebook. But yeah, sometimes maybe I am talking to myself. Oh, the thumbnail for the video, yeah, that was our friend. Oh, I'll show you. I'll actually show you our friend, the AI image generation. I'll show you the prompt I used, and it gave me a few things. So I gave it the prompt: Benedictine monks performing in a death metal concert, and that's the one I used. But that black and white one's pretty cool. And that one you actually see some faces, which is kind of fun. And that one, they're actually painted like death metal guys. I almost used that one, actually. And then I did one where I just changed it from death metal to heavy metal to see how different it was. It was a little bit different. These guys are really going for it. I like them. I almost used this one because they have weird pseudo-religious things hanging around them. Again, another black and white one that looks pretty cool, I think. And this color one's also actually pretty cool. So I thought they were pretty fun images, actually. Yeah, Mizm, they do look like angry nuns. I was saying monks, but they kind of look like angry nuns. I agree with you. Oh, yes, Toby, it's yeah, clearly you can get the stuff sent to anyone if you know the postal address. Yeah, this is not my jam. This is just pineapple juice. Definitely wouldn't make that again. It's only like a 6. That's why I'm drinking it, to get it out of my system, or to get rid of it. Anyway, I was about to say, yeah, well, maybe you don't have to. I'm drinking it. Yeah, it's gone now. Yeah, some water to wash my palate. Thank you, please. Oh, that's a bit better. This is kind of like a martini, isn't it? It's tequila rather than gin. Tequila and dry vermouth and orange liqueur. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Man, that's verging on an 8. It's at least a 7.5. Man, this one actually comes together really well, which is pretty funny because this is the one I didn't really have hopes for. Early 20th century equal parts cocktail, but it's really good. I quite like it. New for today's stream. I mean, I guess it depends what comes out. If we see new stuff. Oh yeah. Oh my god. It's like impossible to drink tequila without hearing that song in your head. I think tequila. So that's a legacy for wherever put that together. So Toby, they asked you name, address, email. I don't think you used my email address because I never get email from them. I probably would have actually spammed them, but I don't think I get any. So I think you just like threw in an email address there. Oh yes, Pee Wee Herman in the biker bar does a good tequila. Absolutely. Safa, I had a light and easy meal for dinner. That exciting. Chicken parma. It was not bad at all, actually. I see. No, there's a slight delay. I didn't see your comment till after I said, and Harry said, yeah, the Pee-wee in with the bikers. But yeah, it's very catchy. Oh, I'll put yours on the screen. Mism Creations asking how you are, Safa. And yes, Safa, thank you. It was yum. It's pretty good. You know, just the light and easy parma with veg. Oh, it was only little because it's light and easy. They don't do the friggin' huge ones. It's good. It's enough. The ones they give you at the pubs are too much. I mean, I love them. I love the pub parmas. But man, they're so fucking huge. Mm. Yep. No, I think I might even rank that one an 8. The pineapple juice one only gets like 6 out of 10 because it just tasted like pineapple juice and a bit of additional sourness from the lime juice that went into it. Ugh. It's funny, like I almost never make a cocktail that I don't think is going to be good. If I see one and go, oh man, that looks crap, I don't make it as a rule, unless I'm torturing myself. I'm trying to remember what was in. All right. There's all these little boxes here, and it's like, oh, it was these samples were in it. What do I still have in these samples? Manly Spirits Pink Gin, Seacliff Vodka, also from New South Wales, Raspberry Aquavitae from Tasmania, and a mystery gin from the Hunter Distillery in New South Wales. Okay. It was a fun little thing when I had the mystery samples and blind tasted and tried to guess what they are. And I wasn't very good at it. Last time I got a Parma at a pub. But I actually went to I had a pub lunch with my team at work, team bonding thing we were doing. I actually had salt and pepper calamari, not a Parma. No, it was sometime during COVID that I had Parma. I don't remember exactly when. All right. So, Toby, you've used your email when you signed up for Jimmy Swaggart. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yes, I got that when you were talking last night, Safa. That's the standard price for that Starwood bottled old fashioned. But then again, that's like 5 cocktails. 5 cocktails for $50 is a pretty good deal. And that's a really good quality one. I've never tasted the Monkey Shoulder one, so I don't know how it is for comparison. But Monkey Shoulder is a pretty good whiskey. It's a blended Scotch. Yep. Okay, that one's surprisingly good. And the Trader Vic one was surprisingly bad. I mean, I actually didn't hold out much hope for it, but I disliked it more than I expected to. 14 standard drinks. That's a lot. I would have thought it would be more like 10 or 12. How many mils was in the bottle, Safa? Was that like 750 mils? Because if that was a 750 mil premix old fashioned for what did you say, $39? That was particularly good bargain you got. Oh, okay, Toby. Okay, see, here's the thing. With the J-Dubs, the Mormons, they do occasionally come around, and I get super fucking offended on behalf of all my Jewish neighbors. I was like this when I was in East St Kilda, and it's like, East St Kilda all the way to Brighton is the most Jewish area of Australia. And so when these friggin' J-dubs or Mormon show up, I get really offended on behalf of all the Jewish people. It's like, fuck off. Go somewhere else. Why are you here, you pricks? I guess it's not diluted very much, but that 20, what do you say, 14 standard drinks still sounds high. I would have thought it was more like 10 or 12, but anyway. Oh, yeah, East St Kilda particularly. A lot of Russian Jewish people in East St Kilda. And it's weird, you go out a bit more towards Brighton, and there's South African Jewish people. Really weird, little enclaves. Oh, yes, in Bentley, you're right. There is there's Russian shops generally in Bentley, actually, but also in East St Kilda. It's funny, when I used to live there in Balaclava, East St Kilda, you sometimes hear people either talking Russian or talking with very heavy Russian accents as you walk down the street. No. Oof. I'm paralyzed. I was going to pour a clarified cocktail. Which one? Maybe I'll just have a little bit of both. That was probably more than a little bit, but it's not excessive. Safi, you don't have a heavy Russian accent. You have an interesting accent from living in the different places. I don't think, if I randomly heard your voice, I don't think Russian would have occurred to me. Dang, I'm trying to spear a cherry. Ah, gotcha. Slippery little sucker. In you go. All right. Sexy, clear, clarifying cocktail. Stirring, stirring, stirring. All right. In Ukrainian? No, I would not say Eastern European in your accent. Oh, man, that's the tits. That's really good. You've managed to end up with a very unique accent by moving around, and makes it very difficult to place you. But, it's all to the good. I definitely think the country, like, growing up speaking English in the country has affected your accent a lot. But again, you don't sound specifically, to me, and I don't necessarily have the best ear for accents, but you don't sound to me specifically sort of country Victoria. Oh my God, that's so fucking yummy. The other good thing about clarified cocktails, besides them being really yummy and looking cool, is they're comparatively low alcohol, because you add dilution to them when you clarify them. So unless you put a bunch of like high-powered overproof stuff in there, you'd have to drink a lot to get shit-faced, which is not something I'd do. Drink so much I get shit-faced. Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Particularly wouldn't do that on a live stream where people could see me and have a go at me about it later. I definitely wouldn't do that. No. Indeed, no. Let me see. What's happening in the world? Oh, Logie's is on tonight. Good Lord. There you go. Oh, gosh. That's right. There was that Air Force helicopter crash in Queensland. Okay, so, this is actually interesting. The WA by-election. Opposition leader says ALP's primary vote should be a wake-up call. So Labor strategist Magenta Marshall. Awesome name, Magenta. Good on you. Cruised to victory. Got 49.41% of the primary vote. Ends up with 65% on two-party preferred. 22% fall from McGowan re-elected. Yeah, but that's not apples and apples, is it? And getting 65% of the two-party preferred vote is pretty fucking full on. The WA Libs desperately clutching it. Oh, the primary vote went down. You're like, shut up, dude. Just fucking shut up. You're an embarrassment. Oh, dear. Just looking to see if there is actually... I mean, that by-election was at least of some interest. Major new player in Republican primary. Who's that? Young, ambitious, and good-looking. Vivek Ramaswamy. Some polling... There is no fucking way a guy of Indian heritage is going to beat Donald Trump in modern America. That's just not going to happen. Never heard of this guy either. It's interesting. Toby, I do like to... I have been doing audiobooks for the last year or two. I was always quite fond of sitting down with an actual book and reading, but I found it easier to keep reading books. It is still reading with audiobooks. Been working my way through a bunch of audiobooks in the last year or two, so that's been quite good. Safa, I think maybe Magenta's parents were hippies. Yes. So it was a bold move that set Mr. Ramaswamy apart from Mr. DeSantis. He's vowed to pardon Mr. Trump if elected president, suggesting allegations about former president's handling of sensitive documents were reflective of possible bad judgment, but not criminal offenses, except to the letter of the law, where they are clearly and definitely criminal. He's a flash in the pan. That anyone who takes with the sort of psychotic behavior that Trump engenders in conservatives, anyone who thinks a non-white guy can challenge Trump is a goddamn idiot. Safa, hardcovers are good in hand-to-hand combat. They're great for self-defense. Someone comes at you, just smack them in the head with your hardcover. That'll sort them out. Oh, God. God, this ongoing stuff about that guy who testified that the US government definitely has alien stuff, and they don't. It's just not true. Well, that's fun. With Trump getting more and more charges, he tried to sue CNN, and a US federal judge threw the case out. Former president claimed the network's description of his election fraud as the big lie associated him with Adolf Hitler. That's funny. In a ruling on late Friday night, Judge Arag Singhal, nominated by Mr. Trump, the judge nominated by Trump threw the case out. CNN's words were opinion, not fact, could not be the subject of a defamation claim. Ooh, CNN's statements, while repugnant, were not, as a matter of law, defamatory. And he sits in the federal court in Fort Lauderdale near Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago. There you go. Oh, that's so funny. Trump getting all these indictments and then trying to sue someone for equating his behavior with Nazis, and the case gets thrown out. Wah, wah. Ooh. New South Wales cops saying they're going to take all the wealth from the drug lords because people are getting shot all over the place in Sydney. Dang, that's a whole thing. That is a whole thing. The number of people. Was it 4 people in 4 weeks got shot in Sydney? There's nothing. Ooh, what doctors avoid? I'd be surprised if you found a plastic surgeon who said they love chainsaws. I once had to reattach someone's arm that got caught in a bench saw. Oof. Motorcyclists have the worst injuries by a long way, so I'd never buy a motorcycle or let my kids ride one. I wouldn't drink a cup of hot coffee sitting on the sofa cross-legged. If you get burns in your nether regions, they're difficult to treat. I'm paranoid about open fires. When the kids were younger, they were practically locked inside if a barbecue was on the go. I don't think I'd ever get a fire pit. I wouldn't have Botox until I was in my late 40s. A lot of people having it in their 20s, but there are risks. I wouldn't let anyone I know have buttock implants. It's too dangerous, and having a big bottom might not be fashionable forever. Man, that's a thing. Or gastroenterologists, don't eat seafood if you're in a landlocked area. Don't go on a fad diet. Damn. I'm cautious of avoiding burnout. Never read work emails on a holiday. I need a mental break as well as a physical one. This is all good common sense. I wouldn't let my 7-year-old eat a grape that wasn't cut up. Oh, I've seen fatal chokings. Yeah. Before I had kids, I thought I'd use the naughty step. But when you look at neurodevelopment of a child age 2, they have no ability to think in any abstract way like this. All you're doing is removing love rather than giving them time out to think. I didn't sleep train my children and would not recommend using crying it out method because it's been shown to increase cortisol levels, which makes the child stressed and continues when they stop crying for their parents. Watch television as a family, but I don't let my children have individual screen time. I've seen fatal injuries from horse riding. Always wanted my children to ride. I know they'd love it, but I've held the hands of children who've died from horse-related injuries, had others paralyzed. And we don't have a trampoline, but I might lose that battle this summer. There will inevitably be a broken road. Yeah, trampolines are fucking dangerous. Oof. Bill Rubens, trauma and orthopedic surgeon. I played rugby till I was 43. That was undoubtedly a mistake. I'm a living example of what you shouldn't do. Got a neck that doesn't turn very well. My back's in an awful state. Had knee cartilage done and an ankle rebuilt. Had 8 teeth knocked out, 3 broken fingers. Got a screw in a wrist. I love running, which I reluctantly gave up in my 50s and missed dreadfully, but I can't do it because of my knee. I would never ski without a helmet. From Christmas to Easter. Okay, so that must be Northern Hemisphere. I see one skier after another coming back with injuries. A lot of the time they've been minding their own business in the lift queue. Some out-of-control person takes them out. I have 3 grandsons who play rugby. Difficult as I'm involved in the concussion debate. Try to steer my lot towards cricket and tennis. All right, so Rita Aria. Sorry, I hope you're finding this as interesting as I am. I'm actually finding these doctor's warnings quite interesting. I would not have any operations unnecessarily. In gynecology, for example, there's sterilization, but also other forms of conception. I would always take the option that avoids surgery. I didn't want medical intervention when I gave birth. Try not to worry where possible. Go for walks with my husband. Talk to friends to help me relax. When I talk to pregnant women, I tell them, let's worry about the next few weeks, not think ahead too much, because half the things we're about won't happen. Don't drink alcohol when I'll be working the next day in case I have to operate. I limit what I drink generally. It's a slippery slope with women my age. Fair enough. Others might drive a flashy car. I'm happy in my 1956 Morris Minor. Jesus Christ, you wouldn't want to be in an accident in it, dude. Don't take paracetamol for headaches unless they're really bad. I see a lot of people with headaches in my clinic. They can usually be avoided by a healthier lifestyle. Often patients get headaches from too much paracetamol. Try not to skip sleep. If you want a headache, go to bed late, get up early. Yep. Exercise is good for de-stress. I wouldn't skip breakfast. Drink lots of water, 2 liters a day or more. Dehydration can contribute to headaches. Smoking is the single worst thing you can do to damage your body. True. So I don't smoke. See many patients with vascular dementia caused by blood vessels being damaged from smoking. Drink alcohol a bit. Excessive intake can cause seizures. In fact, I'm constantly seeing people with smoking or alcohol-related illness does have an impact on me. As a doctor, you have a different concept of risk. People worry about rare things, but the biggest risk for most of us is road traffic accidents. I see the fatal impact stress can have on people. I try to use my time off properly. I would never take drugs. Worse, when I was younger, used to go to parties. There was cocaine around. Wouldn't touch it. Okay, I don't think I've ever done cocaine. You'd want to be very careful of cocaine. I have a sweet tooth, but try to be cautious. A lot of people call me Dr. B. Once a doctor said, do you realize why you're Dr. B? It's because you're Dr. Biscuit. Sometimes on a shift, you don't have time for lunch, wolf down whatever you can find on ward. Often see fatal impact stress causes of people. People have heart attacks because they're overworked. I try to use my time off properly. I don't work too much in the evenings. That was all fantastic. Oh, there's still more, man. I think I'm a pain in the neck. I make sure my teenagers exercise, make healthy food choices, don't have sweets all the time. Friday night's apparition. We can break good habits. Everyone gets a chocolate bar. Well, man, there are heaps of these. These are actually genuinely good. Couldn't rest easy without knowing I have lasting power of attorney. Working brain injury. See many people have catastrophic traffic accidents. Big thing for me, cycling. I'd never cycle in central London. Leisure cyclists do it in the countryside on cycle paths, but a hard no for London. Don't use my mobile as an alarm clock. I don't bring it to bedroom, have a ban on screens. Even if your phone's on silent, it can affect quality and quantity of your sleep. If you're not getting good quality sleep, I think you're getting a bit dorky there. Couldn't rest easy without knowing everlasting power of attorney. Involved in a lot of complex mental capacity assessments where the patient's unable to make decisions for themselves. Don't eat processed foods. What's processed food? Fuck's sake. Reality is we often don't know what's in them. We certainly haven't evolved to eat them. Grow my own veg and keep chickens. Not just because I like knowing where food comes from. Clear benefits, having more connection. Like, that's not terrible, but processed food, it can get stupid, is all I'm saying. If I'm going to a restaurant, I never order a big steak. If I go to a party, tell people what I do, everyone gets uncomfortable because they're holding a glass of wine or beer. I do drink alcohol, but I'm more careful than the average person. Wouldn't drink more than the guidance of 14 to 16 units a week, counting how much I had. I have 14-year-old twins. Don't give them alcohol. Seems unlikely we will avoid it till they're 18. Sometimes I tell them stories about what I've seen at the hospitals, such as patients in their 30s with terrible liver disease, so they're aware of what can happen. Obesity is another risk factor, so we have to eat healthy. Avoid red meats and processed meats. If I go to a restaurant, never order a big steak. I mean, I almost never order steak at a restaurant just because I don't really like steak. I'll have other meat things. Eating red meat 3, 4, 5 times a week raises your cancer risk. That seems fair. Don't put salt on food. Also seems fair. Always, this is a sweet one. Always tell the people you love that you love them. You never know when it's the last time. That's sweet. I like that. I've seen so many family on the worst day of their lives, seeing the person they love most die unexpectedly. Makes me really conscious not to leave the house on an argument. Tell the people you love that you love them. Oh, that's really sweet. I wasn't expecting. I box, and I've been doing martial arts since I was 6. Not worried about getting hurt. All boxers should wear head protection. Don't step into the ring competitively anymore, because as a doctor and an MP, I can't show up with a bruised face or a black eye. Daughter, I feel like I have a great responsibility. I don't ban any food. Want them to understand everything's okay in moderation. Forbid the use of derogatory terms towards people's body. Talk more about internal, external, healthy, unhealthy. Oh, gee, that guy's nice. Her. Rosina Allen Khan. She's nice. I like her. That's very wholesome. Wow, I didn't know this stream was going to be so wholesome, actually. Would I sit at the sun in midday in a tropical country? Absolutely not. Yeah, fuck no. Never use a sunbed. Talk people out of it. Yeah, this guy knows what's up. Oh, actually, God doesn't know the name. I'm not sure. Anjali actually sounds like a woman's name. Would I sit in the sun midday in a tropical country? Absolutely not. Doesn't mean I don't go out in the sun at all. I think the positive benefits being vitamin D production. Yeah, I have to take vitamin D supplements because I never go out in the sun. Exercise or train outdoors. All positive reasons to be outside. Making sure you don't let your skin burn because the burn increases risk of cancer. Would not spend a lot of money on skincare. The idea that the more you spend is better for you is rubbish. Don't spend more than 20, 30 pounds on any product. Don't spend more than about $5 on a product. Just get some moisturizer. I've not had cosmetic surgery, but that might change when I'm older. No judgment from me, as long as you're not looking to fix your self-esteem. Fair enough. Okay, one more doctor. Wow, this is longer than I thought. Sam Guglani, oncologist. There's an idea that doctors live healthier lives because of what we know and encounter through medicine, but I'm not sure it's true. As an oncologist, my not smoking or not drinking too much, but that may change for me. How I live comes more from a particular sort of encounter with medicine, from meeting life's fragility and our mortality every day. I witness others go from being well over a short period of time, sometimes just weeks, to being very unwell. Life's changed sharply and utterly. See this every day in oncology, so I'm surprised we're not wiser. The question for me, presented so clearly with something as obvious but hidden as death, is how to live well inside our short, breakable lives. It seems to me, while illuminated by death, doctors don't necessarily do that. We might work hard to care for others, but we're capable of resentments, anger, greed, and hubris as anyone else. Very possibly more. For me, someday, suddenly without warning, leaving a bedside or conversation, I'll be gripped by the fact of this shared mortality. That will affect me, however, momentarily. Wow. Well, that got deep, didn't it? I just thought it was going to be, have fiber in your diet. Oh God, Toby, you've been reading your Watchtower and Awake magazines, and they can only produce 1 or 2 because they can't afford to keep producing because they keep being sued for covering up child molestation. Dang. Oh wow. That's a whole thing, isn't it? Good Lord. Yeah, I really like that article. Okay. What is the FOGO system? Something on the ABC. FOGO system. What is that? Small plastics objects as egregious rounds of ammunition or no parts gas battles. Things that have to be pulled out was supposed to be just household food and garden waste. Oh, food organic and garden organic. Okay, people put stupid shit in that. Okay. Even the body of a deceased pet dog was discovered in one delivery. Well, that's organic. A hand grenade was once found in the waste at another facility. Neat. People put plastics in there. Dorks. I was thinking FOGO. I'm used to FOMO, fear of missing out. I didn't know what FOGO was. It's food organics and garden organics. Now I know, and I am the richer for it. Mums Inc. INK. How middle-aged women are driving the new tattoo trend? Probably a noise tattoo. I don't know. Shock finding car boot after holiday family pulled over. Unbelievable. I fucking hate clickbait, but I have to look. Traveling along a major British motorway, police made a surprise discovery. 7 people in, I think it's only a 5-seater. 2 little kids were lying in the boot of the car while it traveled at high speed. Holy crap. Okay. Dang. Ooh, someone got critically injured when their e-scooter exploded in their apartment. It's in Wellington, New Zealand. Fire controller urging people only use chargers supplied with the device. Don't leave them charging for long periods. Okay, be careful with electronics if they have a large battery. Lithium-ion batteries of that size belonging to scooters, e-bikes, can produce quite a violent reaction. Should charge e-bikes and e-scooters outside or in a garage, far from any flammable materials. Yeah, man, if a lithium-ion battery, even a small one, goes up, it's a whole thing. So a big one, oof. That's dang. That's some hardcore. It's hard to get coffee in Melbourne after 3 p.m. Well, you shouldn't fucking drink coffee after 3 p.m. God damn it. Oh, was this bogan traveling story? I love it. Flight from Brisbane to Indonesia forced to divert to Darwin after 3 men allegedly became disruptive, drank duty-free alcohol, and vaped on board. 3 Brisbane men are facing fines after allegedly drinking duty-free alcohol and vaping on board a flight from Indonesia, which had to be diverted to Darwin over concerns about their behaviour. 2 20-year-olds from Sheldon and a 42-year-old from East Brisbane. Were they all together? I wonder. They're asked to move out of exit row seats as the crew was concerned they would not be able to assist in emergency. Men initially refused to move, but eventually relocated seats. Men proceeded to drink duty-free alcohol they'd purchased earlier, became increasingly disruptive, with one passenger allegedly vaping in their seat. Aircraft captain diverted. It's like, you're a goddamn moron if you fuck around on a plane, because that shit will affect the rest of your life. You don't want to do it. Oh, are you like, by amateur radio, do you mean like in the old language, that would be a CB radio? God, that was big in the 70s and 80s. Ham radio was another name for it. Well, oh well, good luck with that, Toby. Following an interesting path there. What is happening? Oh, God, yes, concussion in sport. That's a whole thing. Oh, it's so funny with the Conservatives trying to whip themselves up about the ban on gas in new homes, because you literally cannot make a rational argument against it. You can make stupid arguments. You can make emotive arguments. You can't make a rational argument. And I separated stupid and emotive because emotive arguments aren't by definition stupid. You have emotion about something, you feel strongly about it. That doesn't make you or your argument by definition stupid. But the conservative media hacks have been saying stupid shit. Ridiculously stupid shit. There's a little article about Zelda fails. That's too much for a stream, though. Unseasonably warm winter weather. Yeah, like Sydney was like 25 Celsius. Oh God, sorry. A Guardian has an article. John Lydon, aka Johnny Rotten. I won't let the bastards grind me down. John Lydon will grief feuds being an unlikely. He's a fucking prick. He's a pathetic old prick. I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing? Future-proof your career in the area of AI. Oh God, we are just going to get dumb shit about AI pushed at us from the thing. Toby, that is good for your mental health. It's kind of like YouTube keeps pushing sort of weird conservative videos at me when I'm browsing. And I make a point every time. I don't just say not interested. It's like, oh, when I work out what barrow these particular dorks are pushing, I always push don't recommend channel. So I never see that channel again. But then they just managed to find, some other fucking Jordan Peterson fan or someone who thinks Joe Rogan is God incarnate. And it's just like, ugh, my God. It's just things I don't need in my life, basically. So I didn't even bring any soda water in here. I'm a goddamn Egypt. All right, I am going to pour a little bit of this in there. A little bit. I'm going to go get one of my soda waters while this chills. Let it chill, man. Yeah, I won't even put... maybe I'll put chicken in charge. Put some elevator music on. Probably only going to be gone 30 seconds. Or thereabouts. Just going to grab some soda water. Yeah, I'll put some elevator music on for the brief time I'm gone. Oh, dear, I'm looking at the wrong things. Where's the elevator music? Into space. That sounds... I'll be back soon. Alrighty. Got my soda water. Alright, that was your moment in the sun, chicken. I'm back. Turn the elevator music off. And back. I'm back to seeing if there's anything interesting in the world. Cattle prices are down. The herd is growing. Why is steak still so expensive? I don't know. Is it a scam? No, I'm intrigued. Why does the ABC say steak? I wouldn't know because it's not a thing I do. 30 to 60 a kilo. Can be pricey if you're hosting the barbecue. Price of steak cuts. The price of minced beef and sausages. All respond to changes in supply and demand. Price of beef and veal has fallen 2%. Other factors are contributing to high steak prices. Supply chain bottlenecks. Fewer workers mean less meat. Okay. Less cutting, cheaper meat. Ribeye and sirloin might be beyond the budget for many families, but mince and sausages still make it into the shopping trolley. We're seeing increased demand of what we call the grinding meat items. Despite high price for steak, the price of ground meat products has fallen 5 to 8%. There you go. Ooh, it's furious. Tourists keep falling for barley scam. What's the barley scam? Money changes, pocketing more than travellers expect. Very surprised to learn she'd been stung. She thought being cautious, checked to receive the right amount, counting it over and over. Used a non-authorized user, counted the money 3 times. Driver said check money, couldn't believe it was much less. The driver took it back to that person, told him to give him money back or he'll call police. He's the best, he sees it happen all the time. One good reason to have a personal driver for your whole stay. Money changer gave him the money back, asked them to leave. Okay. Some liken to how the scam works to magic. It's easy to miss the money disappearing during the exchange. My son wanted to use one. I said, no, go to an official one. Being young, he insisted. I stood there and watched, saw nothing, walked away, saw we were missing $50. Walked back, kicked up a fuss. He threw original money at us. They're so good at what they do. Recently caught one of these guys who skimmed $20 off my transaction, demanded the correct amount. He said, that's our tax to pay. Threat of police, and that money miraculously reappeared. Someone says it's easy to spot them. They count out Indonesian rupees correctly. Then when you're checking your Australian dollars, they count the Indonesian rupees a second time. That's when they drop a big note into their lap. You can have fun with them. As soon as they count your money out, put your hand on it. I've caught them every time. They don't like it and won't let them catch you a second time. Another said he pulls out the right amount of money first, then you count it. He counts it, then taps it on the counter to bundle it up, and a few notes fall through fine slits. Get it the first time on the top of the counter. Don't let him touch the money again and put it on the counter. If he doesn't get a few notes back, you'll hear all sorts of excuses. You need to pay a service fee. There you go. Oh, there's people living on less in a year than you are in a week, basically. They're trying to make it up some way. Talking about a game called Remnant 2. Never heard of it. Okay. I'm just excited at the possibility of a Red Dead Redemption remake. Da, da, da. Oh, God. Let's see some cocktail recipes. Painkiller, that's a good one. Or can be good. French martini, fucking sucks. Vodka and pineapple and berry liqueur. I'm such a snob. I am such a terrible snob with cocktails. But, you know what? If someone else likes it, I'm not going to argue with them. Oh, man, that's really fucking good too. Still watching this sports ball, so we're up to Germany, Colombia, 1-1. So look, people wonder why there's mistrust of media. In this cluster of headlines about real estate in Asia, one reporting Singapore home prices fall for first time in 3 years as red hot pace slows. And then Financial Review saying Singapore home prices rise despite cooling measures. Who knows? Home and Away's James Stewart says after party antics can end a career. Dang. Who knew? People get drunk at the Logies? Really? It's a whole thing. I love it when people presenting at the Logies are drunk. That's always fun. I'm not even sure when the last time that happened was. Pretty goddamn funny, though. Someone got banned in tennis for 18 months, and Nick Kyrgios is defending them. Of course, Nick Kyrgios is going to defend someone who's in trouble. Mikhail Yima, never heard of him. Missed 3 doping tests. Oh, ridiculous. Yima is one of the nicest guys in tennis. You missed 3 doping tests for one fucking reason. Honestly. Few people defended him. Yes, I'm sorry. When other tennis players defend someone who missed 3 doping tests, I have suspicion. I just really have a suspicion, is all I'm saying. Man questioned after US teenager reappears 4 years after she went missing. Wild. Working from home is full of. Can employers force teleworking Americans back to the office? It depends on your job, I guess. Working from home, honestly. Talking about everyone, this is American based, but employees revolting at the idea of being forced back to the office. Yeah, well, it's like federal public service got a good deal. Is my personal thing on the working from home is if you've got an established reason to go in the office, do it. If you don't. Carl on Facebook. How you doing, man? There's a band called Hatebrand. Thank you. This is Hatebrand, though. Carl is another person who has a YouTube channel where they make cocktails, although Carl is a professional and award-winning bartender, as opposed to just a hack like me who messes about at home. And yes, I am. Monday is what we call anchor day for my team, where we all go in to hang out together. Like, fine, but I make no real pretense of thinking going into the office is a good idea. I want justification to go into the office. Basically, it's like, tell me specifically what will be improved if I go into the office. And sometimes it is you have like group meetings where it's better face to face and all that sort of shenanigans. But just arbitrarily saying go into the office because you go into the office and it's like, oh, particularly when you get, and I actually don't have this problem. I see other people, dork managers, particularly middle managers who are control freaks. Oh, they're not going to work if they don't do anything. Well, you know what? My work is all deliverable based. It's like, am I failing to deliver on my deliverables? And I can confidently take that line because I know I'm not failing to deliver on my deliverables. So, but yeah, honestly, if there was someone who was failing to produce when they were working from home and you thought you could improve it by getting them into the office, then by all means do that. But just doing it for the arbitrary just because, I find incredibly annoying. And Safa, no, I do not wear a mask at work. I do on public transport, not in the office. Because I'll go in tomorrow. There will be hardly anyone in the office tomorrow. Like, my immediate team will be there. Not many other people, though. So we'll see. Oh, God, speaking of which, where did I put my phone this time? It's back over here. Oh, God, the screen's on. Draining the battery like an idiot. All right. Where are we? Matadors, go over here. Okay. I'm going to put my alarm on for the morning. I think I switched it off last week. I do an earlier alarm when I'm going into the office. No, Toby, to the best of my knowledge, no one I work with knows about my YouTube channels. Which is also why I toned down the Angry Aussie channel, because I didn't really want it to become a thing at work. Previous jobs, I didn't care. And I don't really care in this one because, what are they going to do? But as when I said I was basically stopping doing the pre-recorded angry, shouty, sweary things, people are like, oh, why? I was going, well, because there's essentially no upside for me. Like, I'm not going to make lots of money off YouTube, and there is potential downside that I can see. So it's like, no, I am not going to do that stuff anymore. So it's just a thing. Yeah, it's actually a comparatively small number of people over the years who I've worked with, because I used to change work all the time being a contractor. There's a comparatively small number like probably less than 10% knew about my YouTube stuff. So yeah, talking about office buildings being empty. Countries where working from home is taking off. They expected to see a rich-poor pattern, but data shows levels are distinctly above average in English-speaking countries like US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. What explains? Home working used to be highest in high earners, falls income declines. Several theories. US homes might make it easier to work than squishier flats in Europe? I don't know. US companies are better at measuring and assessing workers' performance, so are more relaxed about people. Maybe. Who knows? Oh god, I did see this story about Siberian worm brought back to life after 46,000 years. That seems like a bad idea. Oh god, the conservative media are still trying to make a big deal about the Commonwealth Games being cancelled. Like no one fucking cares, man. No one's vote's changing over this. It just isn't. It's just not a thing. And the media are desperate to have something to flog, and it's just not going to work. Simply isn't going to work. But yes. Ooh. 3 teens ambushed, 2 stabbed in random attack in Tarney, Melbourne. Damn. Ooh, okay. Here's news I want. Mad Max TV show in development. Warner Brothers apparently involved in the development of it, but no one knows any details. Yeah, well, interesting concept. Mad Max TV show. It's wide open. What do you do? What are you going to do? What else is going on? God, Logies. Was it? Oh, dear. Ugh. Stupid shit about Musk and Twitter. Guy's such a fucking moron. Spotify editors influence 250 million in Aussie music revenue. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Oh, is there anything else in here? Mediterranean-inspired meals to make in minutes. How this performer starts his day. Scotch fillet cooked with salt and butter. Good for you, buddy. Eating steak first thing in the morning seems like way too much work to me. Honestly, this is how pathetic I am. The reason I don't eat more steak is it's just like it's too much like hard work chewing it up. It's just like every now and then I will have steak somewhere and it's really good, and I go, no, yeah, no, I get why people like steak. This is actually pretty good. But just broadly, I'm like, man, all that chewing, it's too much like hard work. So, Toby, okay. Elon became rich because he inherited money from his family. They had apartheid emerald mines in Zimbabwe, uh, which he now tries to deny, which is ridiculous because he's on record as talking about it in the past. And when he tried to deny it, his dad actually went on the record and said it was true. Musk is pathetic, weak, spineless, insecure, vain, vapid, and a fucking liar. Anyway, so how he remains rich because he used his inherited money to buy into companies. His first big win was PayPal, which was not his company. It wasn't his code or his business brilliance that got money. He bought into someone else's company. Same with Tesla. Same with SpaceX. It's not because he's any great genius. He used money he already had to buy into someone else's idea. It's essentially been a really considerable amount of luck for him, but it all started with inheriting family money. And Safra, I don't know exactly when Musk left South Africa, but yeah, he's a liar and a piece of shit. And also, as I often say, when we start talking about wealthy people and the wealthiest people in the world and the imaginary numbers they say for their wealth, it is important to note that whenever they say these things, between 50 and 90% of their wealth is imaginary. It's tied up in share prices of companies. It cannot be realized as like cash because if they tried to sell the stock, no one would buy it. The price would plummet. So it's always worth noting Musk more than most, but all the billions. I mean, yeah, they probably do have access to more than $1 billion in cash or solid wealth, which is fucking criminal. But when they start talking about people being worth tens of billions, hundreds of billions, it's mostly imaginary. It's not real, actual money in any tangible sense, and it never can be. It's quite silly that way, actually. But sorry, I just looked up Hatebrand on Wikipedia, and there's actually only 2 sentences. That's disappointing. With such a cool name, and he has his own feast day, someone should write some. What's on the talk page? There's no discussion on the talk page. Low importance saint. Oh, that's harsh. God damn. Oh man, what can you do? Good old Hatebrand. Now I just want to fucking look up some academic research because the name is just so cool. I just absolutely friggin' love the name Hatebrand, which I only discovered today. And he's already my favorite saint because his name's Hatebrand. Oh, damn. Ooh, this is a weird headline. Indonesia reports lumpy skin disease in cattle imported from Australia. Holy shit. Another crypto bro being a fucking scammer. CoinSpot pays founder other investors $700 million dividend. Melbourne headquartered CoinSpot cashed in cryptocurrency bull market. Parent company of broking service booked a $292 million net profit. CoinSpot has 2.5 million users, 223 employees. CoinSpot's one of Australia's most profitable private companies. Mr. Wilson founded CoinSpot in 2013. He's really going for it, 10 years on. He's the largest shareholder with 77% holding. Co-founder holds 10%. Dude just granted himself several $100 million. Fuck, dude. That's cash money, I think, as opposed to the imaginary money I was talking about before. Hot damn. It'd be tempting. I mean, to me, just the fucking warning bells go off. That actually looks like, as much as anything in these big companies is legitimate, that looks like a legitimate business transaction. But it's just like, oh, crypto thing, guy awarded himself hundreds of millions of dollars. Ooh. Looks a bit woof. It just looks. That's it. That's my considered in-depth opinion on that. It looks a bit. Oh. But what are you gonna do? Maybe I should go work for them. They're Melbourne-based. CoinSpot, a crypto company that's actually making money and a lot of it. I mean, I heard. As I understand it, I think crypto actually went up this year after going down for a couple of years. I don't know though. That's a confidence game. The whole crypto thing. Again, speaking about imaginary, a thing that only works as long as everyone involved agrees that it works. If people start to not agree that it works anymore, it doesn't work. Which, again, to be fair, technically, that's how national currencies work too. And you see economies collapse when people stop believing that the currency is worth anything. So while theoretically it could happen to any country, and it's happened in many countries over the last, say, 200 years, that people have lost faith in the currency, so it becomes essentially worthless, and inflation runs at several thousand%. It's kind of like where you got Zimbabwe printing $10 trillion notes. I almost got those as a collector's item because I saw them in a stamp and coin collector shop in Melbourne. Just this really pretty money that was printed up for Zimbabwe. This is, I don't know, 10 years ago. And I think the largest denomination was 10 trillion, a single note that was 10 trillion Zimbabwean dollars, which I think was worth less than $10 Australian. But it was just quite cool to see a high quality banknote. It was like a plastic banknote, like Australia's banknotes. And it was a real official currency for a real country, and the denomination of $10 trillion. I'm going to look it up. What was the highest Zimbabwe note that auto-completed? 100 trillion. There you go. The Bank of Zimbabwe. This currency only existed till 2009. First dollar replaced the Rhodesian dollar. There you go. No, I'm going to find it. 1980 banknotes. No, come on. What are the crazy ones? Let's get the really wild ones. Where were the really wacky ones? There's a 500 million, 100 billion. Banknotes. Come on, where's the really wacky one? I want the really wacky one. 20 billion, 100 trillion. Oh, so then like $1 was worth $1 trillion. Hyperinflationary Zimbabwean banknotes, such as the $100 trillion denomination, got interests in the numismatic community, buyers in general, for their absurdity rather than for their designs. Some examples, notes sold in 2008, more than their true value at the time. Actually, if I do a little search of buy Zimbabwe $1 trillion bill, eBay is someone's selling $100 trillion bill for $4.20. So they're not worth much. But honestly, so they seem to vary. They're not very much. $4, $6. Some people trying to sell them for much. Oh man, if I don't know, I'll keep that in mind because I think they're fun. A $100 trillion banknote is just fun as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. Yeah, strictly Sega. The notes are quite nice. Like I said, I do remember a coin and stamp collecting place in Melbourne that had them for sale. It was like 10 years ago, possibly longer. And I was quite tempted to get them. Because, I mean, that's out there. A $100 trillion they kept trying to redo it. Like, they go, okay, now we got new money now. So they were literally like, okay, with the new money, $1, this new $1 has the value of $1 trillion. Like, just try to wrap your head around that. Just saying, like, 1 trillion. This thing that now says $1 has the same value as previously $1 trillion. Jesus Christ. You know, your shit's gone south at that point. Safa, I honestly don't remember how much they cost. They were more than $4 or $5, though, I think. But I think when I look at those eBay prices, I feel like they're never really caught on as collector's items. Yeah, I mean, honestly, $10, I would buy a legit 100 trillion Zimbabwean dollar banknote for $10. That's just cool. I mean, it's just a really good example of our monetary system's imaginary. It's backed by governments, but it's only worth anything to the degree that people kind of universally agree that it's worth something. And I know you get crypto people who derive fiat currency by that way, saying, "Oh, you're saying crypto is just imaginary. That federal currency is just imaginary." Well, it's backed by a government, and yes, that requires positive thinking. But as the fact is, crypto reproduces every weakness of fiat currency and adds a few additional weaknesses. Like, it doesn't fix anything. Like when they go, "Oh, well, fucking country currency's a scam." I go, "Yeah, it is. It is. But you're not better. You are, in fact, worse." So yeah. Oh, excellent question, Safa. Well, printing your own banknotes, frowned upon. Yeah, maybe it's. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've just been through. Fiat currency just means the currency of a nation, backed by a particular nation. So, the Australian dollar is fiat currency, US dollar fiat currency. It's the currency backed by a nation. So, crypto has all the shortcomings of currency issued by banks and governments, has no benefits, and adds in a whole bunch of other negatives. Namely, that, they've just been riven with scams from top to bottom. So, you can't trust them. But, and again, you always think, "Well, I don't trust governments either." Yeah, I don't really either. But what are you going to do? Well, Safa, that's another thing. The US debt is also, to a large extent, imaginary. It's it's this whole thing. It's an excellent way that highlights the international monetary system is a joke, because it is. Hey, official Justin, I probably am about to have the cherry. Actually, have the cherry ready. Got my sody water. And we've just got into talking about currency at the moment, and how capitalism. Actually, I don't think I've actually said this openly, but I'll say it now. Capitalism's a scam. Well, again, but what I'm saying, Justin, is the whole system relies on everyone believing the same imaginary thing, that the currency has actual real value, that the government can guarantee certain values, and if people lose faith in that, you end up with the Zimbabwe situation, which is what we were talking about a little bit earlier, where they ended up printing $100 trillion banknotes. Why do socialists use money? Because the that socialist or communist countries still transacted. They still placed values on things, and people are just getting like, okay, I performed X work, I'm going to get Y rubles, and I use those rubles to buy this amount of vodka. Yes, I'm indulging in stereotypes. But it's basically because that was what was agreed on transacting and swapping things, compensating for labor, compensating for physical things you produce, trading your labor for money, trading your labor for physical things. And I mean, humans have used money in one form or another for an extremely long time, thousands of years. So they, it's just taken different forms. Like in a lot of cultures, it was things of actual money, things of actual value, things that had rarity. That's why gold's always been treasured. Gold was treasured because it was pretty and it was rare. And a lot of different cultures around the world, the currency was based on things that were both attractive and rare. But then when you get, default currency endorsed by a monarch or government, it tends to be less actual value. Hello, Dr. Abigail. Oh, that's where you've been. You and your lucky morphine. There you go. So, and one of your predictions is coming true tonight, by the way, Dr. Abigail. But c'est la vie, I guess. Not giving the poor little sad boy the attention they want. But yes. So AD used to always say, that you're actually sick when they give you the good stuff. Like when you ask for morphine and they give it to you, you go, oh, okay, I'm actually sick. There's actually something wrong with me. Okay. That's a whole thing. So I'm hoping that there's some path to improvement for you, Dr. Abigail, because it kind of sucks. Oh, Toby, it's just a fucking loser who's obsessed with me. It's honestly, it's genuinely embarrassing that someone is like that. And this is why I don't really give them any time. It's just like, okay, that is quite cringy and embarrassing. So yeah, but we'll move on from it. Yes, and that's all I do. Strictly say, I don't respond to the sad loser. Just block and delete. So like the penguins in Madagascar, those animated movies where they do, we're going smile and wave, boys, smile and wave. With me, it's block and delete. Just block and delete. Unofficial Justin, I have lots of them. Oh, weirdly, and you might find this amusing, Dr. Abigail, there was a little surge on YouTube on the video I made about the right-wing racist trolls hacking on the rings of power and how, you are actually racist. You can't cover it up with all this other shit. Everyone knows you're upset just because there are women and non-white people in roles, and your reaction is fucking racist. And there was a little surge of them in this last week. And again, what always does my head in, where they feel like they've made some huge point just by saying, I'm not racist. It's going, well, you fucking are, because everything you say in your entire argument is by definition racist. It's just like one of them literally had Nazi worship in their usernames, like Desert Fox. But goddamn, it's just like with someone who literally has Nazi worship in their username expects you to take them seriously and waste time on them. And it's like, fuck. And I had one that literally do the, well, I'm a black person, so you have to listen to me and can't call me racist. It's going, you've got a cowardly anonymous account where you push extreme right racist talking points, and you just put in text on the internet, well, here I am promoting extreme right racist talking points, but even though I'm a coward who hides my identity, I'm definitely a black person, and you have to believe that I'm. It's like, shut the fuck up. So, what are you watching tomorrow? I mean, probably some Star Trek Strange New Worlds. We got one episode to watch, and probably some more Mandalorian. Watch the last episode of Book of Boba Fett that he's in, and then get to season 3. I've been watching some of my own stuff. I did mention the other night, watched the first episode of the sort of Justified. It's not a reboot, it's a restart. Called City Primeval. And I like it. Timothy Oliphant's great. The character, the way he plays Raylan Givens is great. It's propaganda. I mean, it's absolutely propaganda, but it's cool. I don't know, Safra, if I need to fill in a bit of time, I might watch a bit of Star Wars Visions, because I've still got a few to watch, and Mrs. Angry likes that too. Official Justin, you had a bit of an online presence. People had you. Oh yeah, no. Being pro LGBT, well, fucking raise things. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck the losers. They suck. Anyway, it is 10 o'clock. So I'm gonna go to bed, because I got to get up a little bit early tomorrow and go into the office. We got some heavy rain came through really quickly this afternoon. And I was going, man, if it's raining tomorrow, I'm not going to the office. I'm not going to walk to a tram stop and get rained on. Fuck that. But the Bureau says it's not going to rain tomorrow. So I guess I'm going to go into the office. God damn it. Anyway, you find people, be well. And yes, Safa, I will eat the cherry. The ceremonial end of the stream. So you find people, take care. I hope to see you again soonish. Probably Tuesday night. Yum, these cherries are so fucking good. Going to go sleepy bobos now, so I hope you all take care of yourselves.